is, according to Mahayana Buddhist tradition, we say Buddha Shakyamuni he's still, with us. He is founder of Buddhism. The first teaching he taught the Four Noble Truths. Clear? Four Noble Truths. You should not think, you will include me. You should not think the Four Noble Truths are very basic teaching. The practice of Four Noble Truths is very basic, very foundation. No, you should not think. The Four Noble Truths, understanding of Four Noble Truths, practicing Four Noble Truths is quite, very advanced practice. Among the Four Noble Truths, first, Buddha taught the truth of what? Truth of suffering. Truth of suffering. First, he introduced for the four disciples truth of suffering. Suffering is not just, is real there, not just only your imagination, is there, truth. So when he, started the teaching truth of suffering, means we every time need to remember we are always having the three types of suffering. Suffering of suffering, suffering of change or changing suffering, and the pervasive sufferings. Not only just understand, we need to realize, we need to experience the suffering, then cause of suffering. Within the truth of suffering, there are four aspects or four characteristics of the suffering. Impermanence, suffering, emptiness, selflessness. Among the four, the first, he introduced to the disciple the impermanence, particularly impermanence of life and the death. So when you reflect on these two, the truth of suffering, particularly impermanence of death, is bring you a lot of inspiration, energy to enter into practice of Dharma. Clear? Dharma. So before we discuss about the death, next life, intermediate state, as a basic, as a foundation, everybody must have a very strong conviction, strong belief in next life. That without believing next life, without believing in intermediate state, then there's no such a thing we can talk about, death and good rebirth. So as a Buddhist, how we can really, really, sincerely believe in next life? How it is possible there's a next life? How do we know? How do we know? The answer, we should not say, Buddha says so, my teacher says so, my guru says so. I just believe. Those are not enough strong kind of evidence to believe in next life. So before we think about next life, we think about the previous life. Previous life. Clear? Previous life. Right now, all sentient beings, particularly us, we have a body, we have a mind. Nobody can ignore, nobody can deny. There's no body. Yes, there's a body, there's no mind. Yes, there's a mind, there's no body. So nobody can deny. Am I right? Cannot. You can see others' body, you can see your own body, you can feel your own body since we were born. So we have been using our own body as well, our own minds. Right? Therefore, we have a body, we have a mind. Clear? So when you look at your own body, when you look at your brother and sister or relatives, the feature of your body is very much similar to one of your parents, maybe half. The nose look like more similar to the mother nose, or the way of acting is more close to the father. This means it is very clear that our body, or this physical body is come from where? Come from our own parents, no doubt, no argument. 100% sure the physical body is mainly produced, you can say protection of our own parents. Clear? Now, the mind is the most important thing we need to study. In the past, in India, ancient time, there are only two religions, Buddhist and non-Buddhist. We say non-Buddhist. In the ancient time, there was no such as say the concept of Hinduism is come later. Buddhist and non-Buddhist has such a lot of debate, lot of discussion. They discussed, have a lot of action knowledge about the minds. Among the non-Buddhist, there's only one school who claim, who assert minds and bodies are just one entity, different aspect, like a wall and the painting on the wall, right? When the wall break down, what happened? The painting also going to break down, no more painting. So that means when we die, our body is going to cremate or going to underground, there's no more consciousness. They don't believe next life and previous life, only just one life. Similarly, now you can see, like many Hindus practitioners also believe only one life. Also, there are so many other Buddhist, Hindus people who believe, on next life and previous life. Now we come to the Buddhism point of view. So how we can show our minds, you should not say also, we always can see some misunderstanding within the, Buddhist. You say, my consciousness, my mind come from previous life, not me. It's a big mistake. You always think, I came from my previous life with my consciousness. My consciousness come from my previous life with me. There's no totally, can establish separately you and your minds. Right? Now, if we come to the point, how we know, how do we know our minds or consciousness are not come from our parents. Sometimes you can see the children are very similar with the parents, right? The mindset. Parents are very angry. You can see the children also very angry. Parents are quite intelligent. Children also quite intelligent. Sometimes you can see it's totally opposite. Opposite means now we know our consciousness, the minds are not really, from come from or from our parents. It's come from our own previous consciousness. Now I give you few simple example. In your life, everybody has a lot of experiences. When you see someone the first time in Singapore or Malaysia, any part of the world, first time when you meet the person, suddenly you feel so happy. Right? Look like you are meeting one of your best friend. The person never say hello, how are you? You just met somewhere, you feel so happy. Sometimes also when you see someone first time in your life, you never, in the past you didn't meet the person, you never have any kind of connection or kind of contact each other. But when the person say hello, how are you, good morning, where are you from? The person say very nice way, but you feel very agitated, you feel angry, you feel upset, you feel little bit uncomfortable with the person, right? This is the one of the logics. Means somehow you have some connection in the previous life. Good connection, you can feel good. You have a bad connection, you feel bad about the person. First example. Second example, also you have an experience. First time, let's say you are going to go to one of the European country. You've never been there. You really wanted to go. But when you reach there, when you look around, the culture, the way of life, or the old house, the landscape, the environment, look like you've been there before. Right? You look like you somehow I've been there. You really try to, understand why I have this kind of feeling. Means you have memory. You were born there one time, so you carry the memory in your minds. When you reach the place, that the environment, the people, the culture become trigger to awake your memory. So all this reason it shows, there was a previous life. Then, as mentioned, it's a body and mind. But mind actually come from the previous life mind. The previous life mind become substantial cause. Then this life coming from them, right? So in order to understand the previous life, next life, or intermediate state, Buddhahood, liberation, so we need one of the most important mind in our life, which is wisdom. Wisdom. So this class is going to be more lot of repetition and going to repeat again and again because so you have been hearing, you heard always hear about wisdom and compassion, wisdom, right? But most time we not really using our own wisdom. we're using others' wisdom. For example, when you go to market, you want to buy, vegetable. You're not sure this vegetable is really good or not good. Suddenly you ask somebody, is it good? One person says, yeah, it's really good, it's a good one. You buy it. You're not using your own wisdom or your own mind. Mostly we believe, we follow others, people, other person, other wisdom. Right? Therefore, beginning of the, so I will use, I think what you will download, wishes for release from the prelude state of the intermediate state, hero release, releasing from fright by the first Panchen Lama, Lobsang Chuki Gyaltsen. I think it's at the 8th centuries. And Tibetan Buddhism, Parto Tongtrol. So when I download this text, I read from beginning. So I also have a lot of, kind of memory. So when I chant this one, traditionally in Tibetan culture, particularly when you go to Tibet, when you go to other parts of Himalaya, so when, as a little monk, so we don't want to chant this one, this text. We feel scared. We talk about death, death. So traditionally, when the dead body, we bring out from the house, then the monks or nuns, they chant this chanting. So as a little monk, we really don't want to chant. We feel so scared. Also, when we go through this text, someday you feel, frightening, someday you feel so scared. So first we chant this verses. At the beginning, English, there's no words. Namo Guru Manzu Gokhaya or Goshaya means, prostrate to the Manjushiri. So important. At the beginning, Panchen Lama, he pay respect to Manjushiri. Means the wisdom is so important. Everything, your daily practice, particularly when you go through the process of death, we need the wisdom, particularly we need the, very particular wisdom. Second, when we're going through the intermediate state, also we need to apply our wisdom. So wisdom is so important. Okay, so we chant these verses slowly. There's a 17th stanza, then we break down for the stanza. Okay, we chant together. Okay, everybody has to copy. Okay, we chant slowly, okay? I and all being through our space and without exception, go for refuge until the enlightenment. To the past, present, and the future Buddhas, the doctrine and the spiritual community, may we be released by the fact of the fire, intermediate state, and the next life. May we extract the demand from the essence of the life's support without being distracted by the senseless affair of the world. Since this goal hard to gain and easy to teach, present opportunity to choose between perfect and loss, comfort and misery. May we realize that this is not time to rest, that being definite at the time of death is indefinite. What has gathered will separate, what has been accumulated will be consumed without residues. In operation, calm, descent, the finality of the death is death. May we be relieved from the overwhelming suffering due to the various cause of death. When it is city of awareness, the conception of self as subject, the really body composed of the four impure elements. Consciousness are about to surrender. May be relieved from the mistaken appearance of non-virtues and receive a return of need by the body sustained to clearly the faithful eminence of death manifests. And we kill ourselves with the weapons of the three poison laws, hatred and development. May we remember instructions of practice and proper forsake us death and more ability. When we give up hope for our life, and we are left with nothing else to do. May we have the confidence of joy in life, and food and wealth live with the miserliness and happy have. And we separate forever from the cherished and long old friends, going on to the perilous situation. May we generate a powerful mind virus, and the elements of fire, water, fire, and wind dissolve in the stages. The physical strength is lost, mouth, nose, jaw, and pucker. One word door, breath are gaps, vitalities are sown emerge. May we realize the deathless mode of being, when virtues mistaken appearance, fatful and horrible. In particular, mirage, smoke, and fire appear. Among of the 80 indicative conceptions cease. May we generate the strong mindfulness and the vain conception being dissolved into the consciousness, and the external quantity of breath cease. Gross domestic appearance dissolved, and appearance like a burning butter lamp burn. May we know on nature ourselves. Through the yoga, realize second existence and the nirvana are empty. Appearance increase and the inner attainment dissolve. Earlier into the later exception like this moonlight, sunlight, and the darkness dawn. May the mother and lead the net attainment dissolve into the whole empty, and all conceptual multiplication sees the experience. Eponymous sky free from the floating condition down. Maybe a second one pointed foundation meditation in the exile wisdom and join inner bliss and emptiness. Bring the four emptiness upon the melting of the moonlight, but constant by the fire of the lightning like powerful flame. May we complete the place of the intermediate state, the concentrated meditation of illusion upon living the clear light. Body of the complete enjoyment blessing with the glory of the Buddha's mouth and the beauties, rising from the light of the death. If due to karma is intermediate states established, may the manifest appearance be performed. Through intermediate analyzing, realize the absence of the inherent existence of the suffering of the birth, death, intermediate may be born into a pure land through the yoga, transmitting external into the mystic. Comes for some of the revolt of the elements, free fighting for appearance and appear. May be reborn with the spirit lights of the Tantra practitioner using the sky of the body, mostly of lay practitioner possessing the three practices. May we complete the realization of the power of the two-state completion, thereby attaining quickly Buddha body to complete enjoyment and illuminations. So I will request all of you to memorize these textbooks. Why? Because this textbook is very complete practice for this life, particularly how we can apply the Dharma knowledge during the process of death. Also, this text include how to practice Dharma during the intermediate state also include the teaching how to practice a higher Tantrayana, particularly the two stages while we are alive in next life. At the end, also include how we can be born into pure land. Right? Among the 17 stanza, the first one, taking refuge and generating bodhicitta. Yes, usually as a Buddhist, we take refuge to the triple gem in the morning 3 times, maybe in the evening 3 times. Since today, no matter how much you are busy, because all of you are, over 50, 55, 60, plus 60. So since today, we have to do a proper preparation. The preparation, not just preparation, so the preparation can really affect. So while we are alive, also have a good effect while we are dying, also have a good, result, good effect during the intermediate state, also have a good effect for next life. In the past, I really, whoever attend my class in TBC, I always urge, requested, whatever you are studying, have been studying the Dharma, make sure you apply in every day. Every day. Particularly this teaching, requested by one of our friend. She said, most of us, over 60, over 70, so we have a lot of confusion how to practice Dharma during the, procedure of death. Also, we confuse how we can help to our friends and relatives while they are, passing away. So since today, we all together, include me, we must do the proper preparation. We don't need any preparation for death, right? Somehow, we don't need any preparation for dying, right? Anybody that's dying, no need preparation. We are going to do preparation, how we can live peacefully, also how we can apply the Dharma during while we are dying. Preparation for dying doesn't mean we need preparation for death. No need. Naturally, or accidentally, unexpectedly, we're going to die. So why it is so important, really remembering the death. If you don't, do the good preparation for, while we are dying, intermediate state, next life. If you don't practice Dharma, if you're not going to take the good opportunity, then remembering death is just let you feel scared. Right? Just feel scared. No point to reflection on death. No point. For example, let's say we have a serious illness. If you want to do the proper medication, like a medication, if you don't really want to take the medicine, still you follow the diets, then need to remember I'm sick, I need to take this medicine, I want to free from the sickness. If you don't want to take medicine, you don't want to follow, strictly the diet, then no need to remember you are seriously ill. Likewise, remembering death doesn't mean it make you so scared. It give you a lot of, opportunity. It gives you a lot of inspiration. It gives you a lot of, energy to practice Dharma. First important, when you remember death, then you become very, disciplined person. Am I right? Yeah. Second, when you remember the death, you become more, you become more particular about your daily action. Make sure I'm not going to do any negative actions. Third, when you remember death, it reduces your attachment towards your own life. You reduce attachment towards your belongings, your relatives, your friends, particularly the place where you live. So remembering, death has a lots of benefits. Therefore, today as our first class, we need to learn how to really accept the death. Not just verbally say, oh, I know what does mean death. You really need to accept the death. If you're not ready to accept the death, even though you remember the death, you always avoiding, remember the death. When actual death come for your friends, your relatives, you, and that time, you cannot handle it. Right? You cannot. Because you didn't think about, when you remember, you always avoid. When that actual death come, then you are totally, your minds is your attachment, your anger, anxiety is totally, you cannot control them. Cannot. For example, many of us, when you think about, I'm old, I'm 70 years old, 60 years old, you feel so scared. You don't want to remember you are getting old. You don't want to see, right? You don't want to see yourself. I'm very old. Therefore, everybody try to, hide being an old person. Right? Let's say I'm a lay person. Must have a little bit black color here. I put, the color looks younger. I cover my wrinkle. Even though I have a knee problem, hip problem, but when I go around, I'm trying to pretend I'm young and well. But that means we are not ready to accept our aging. When you really realize your body is, cannot support anymore, your knee, your leg, your hip, your digestive system cannot support anymore, then you feel so upset. I can see when I go around, morning, evening walk, I see many, old person, uncle, auntie, like 70, 80 years old, they are living around, they are talking themselves. Looks so upset. Why? They cannot accept the aging. So as a Buddhist, as a, studying for Buddhism for a long time, when you see you are quite old, you must feel appreciate. You must feel happy. I'm so lucky. I'm 60 years old, still survive. Some of my friend has gone when they are 20, 25, 30, 35. Why are you so upset? be 60 or 70 years old, you must feel appreciated. At the same time, you must think, I'm not sure how long I can go, whatever I have. 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, even though 1 or 2 days, I will take the rest of the time as a good opportunity to understand Dharma, to practice Dharma, to free from a sense of scary or sense of frightened or the death. So at the beginning, you can say taking refuge. When we take refuge, we need 2 causes. Right? What are they? First, you need to realize the suffering of the samsara, suffering of our daily life. So also, when you really recognize I'm totally in suffer, I have all kinds of suffering. Then second, how I can be free from all the suffering, right? Then you can see the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha can be my refuge. When you realize I'm sick, I'm sick, then what you do second? Then you are looking a doctor. You are searching a doctor. Therefore, you always consider all Buddhas are excellent teacher, guru, like a doctor. Then Dharma are like a medicine. And all suffering like a sickness. So here we are not just taking refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. We are taking refuge to the Triple Gem in order to free ourselves from all kinds of suffering, free all sentient beings from suffering. Therefore, since today, every moment when you are eating, when you are sitting alone, you always remember the Triple Gem, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Take refuge to the Triple Gem from your heart. Every moment you need to put habit to remember the Triple Gem. Remember. Now, let's say we everybody is seriously ill. We all together in the Singapore General Hospital. We all hospitalized. We're all in the hospital, right? Now, can we remember the Triple Gem, that moment? Can we? Yeah, now everyone say, I can, right? But when you have a very strong pain in your head, your shoulder, your neck, your it is, having serious pain, you cannot remember. You are so, upset. Number one. Number two, so while in the hospital, we need to take a lot of medicine. The medicine, the injection makes us so sleepy. Our mind becomes very kind of blurred, become very unclear, difficult to remember. Okay, now the first stanza, taking refuge in general, particularly during the procedure of our death, during the death time. Now let's say we all together hospitalized in the Singapore General Hospital. Right? We are lying down on the bed, and all the troops maybe in our body. Now, when you look around, you can see our friends and family. We feel so upset because we really don't know. Within few hours, few days, I have to be separated from the related friend, right? Upset. Second, when you remember your accumulation, your wealth, your property, your house, your car, you have so regret. I pay few 100,000 for my house. I cannot bring my house. Who will take the house? I have a car. I have a bank balance. Right? Particularly you have a strong attachment towards your dear and near one. Also, you are totally in the misery. Can you remember Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, that moment? Very difficult. Therefore, since today, you have to put very strong habit, no matter which situation you are in. Need to remember the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Right? If you cannot remember all Buddhas, at least while you are dying, forget about your properties, your house, families and friends. Just remember Buddha Shakyamuni, Amida Buddha, and not only remember them, remember their teachings, practice compassion, practice bodhicitta, right? That moment, make sure if you are around someone dying, make sure you don't disturb them. Try to remember them, Buddha, Dharma, bodhicitta, six perfection. Give a lot of kind of positive environment for them to remember the Triple Gem. Otherwise, the person is lying on the hospital, we are lying hospital, then some of relative comes and say, oh, please don't worry, you are okay, right? But we must know, I'm not going to be okay. I'm dying. Then this other person come, oh, don't worry, you're okay. After a few days, I bring you house, I will give you good food. How do you feel? You feel happy? You feel upset? You feel angry? You feel so angry. Actually, I'm not going to be okay. Somehow, directly, indirectly, the doctor will say, oh, yeah, okay, you are much better, you are much better, right? But you're going to realize the doctor just saying. So, my first point here, not just verbally take refuge, you need to take people habit to remember the person any situation, particularly the moment or during the procedure of death. Death, death, that number one. Then next, I will give you another copy with a breakdown of the verses. So if you have this book, it was on dying by Geshe Yonten. We have a seat here. Yeah, advice on dying. Is very good book, taught by His Holiness Dalai Lama, maybe 30 years ago. It's okay, just sit. Okay, so you can see the soft copy. The first 7 stanzas explain how to approach dying. First 7 stanza, how to approach dying. There's a 1 all the way to 7. Okay, everybody must, you can just give a note. Within the 7, first is taking refuge to the temple gem. Then next 2 stanzas address the importance of valuing the present life as an opportunity for spiritual practice. 2 stanza number 2 and 3. Clear? Now, within the these two stanzas. So I will is come quote from the Lamrim Shemu. So we just stop for the two and three. Okay, may we extract the meaningful essence of this love support without being distracted by the essenceless affair of this life, since this good foundation had to gain easy to disintegrate. That means we always need to remember, that this life is so difficult to achieve, very easy to diminish, very easy to lose. Then present as opportunity to choice between profit and loss. So number one, why this life we have is so important. Why? Answer me in your mind. Why this life is so important for us? Maybe this is the first time we have this kind of life. On this basis, on this life, you since this life, you continuously going to go to achieve liberation and Buddhahood. Or if you lose this opportunity, then look like, we're going to go forever for the lower realms. Clear? So we, this life, have the ability, have the opportunity to distinguish which, path you will go. Path to liberation and Buddhahood, or path to the samsara continuously. Clear? Number one. Number two, why this love is so difficult to achieve? So difficult to achieve. In order to achieve, a good human life, in the previous life, we did practice morality, generosity, and patience. So in order to, we did good moral practice, we born as a human. Second, in previous life, we did practice generosity, the pure generosity. Therefore, we have all the necessary condition. In the previous life, we practice patience purely. Therefore, we have a very complete human life. Three causes. What are they? Morality, generosity, and patience. Purely. Now we compare this life. Let's say, do we really able to practice pure ethic? Do we able to practice the ethic which is pure? Very difficult. Do able to practice pure generosity? Very difficult. Do we able to practice patience? Very difficult. Therefore, in order to achieve this kind of, the important life, we need to practice the three causes. Therefore, this life is so difficult because it's so difficult to practice the three practices. Difficult. Not then second, very easy to disintegrate, very easy to lose. Particularly, this day. So here I will quote it. So okay, today first class, you need to remember how to meditate on impermanence and death. First, okay, since today, you need to remember the three root about the death. Three root. The first one, definitely, the death come definitely. First root. That we everybody believe we really know definitely that death will come. Second, the time of death not definite. Second root. What is the second root? What is the second root? The time of death indefinite. Third one, we have a very little time to practice the Dharma. Right? Dharma. Therefore, three root. What is the rule number one? Yes. Let me see somehow I cannot find it here. I cannot find the 9 3 root and 9 reasons. Each has a 3 reasons. I thought it was one. Just three root and 7 reasons. Sorry, 9 reasons. No, 9 reasons. We remember the 3 roots. Yeah, here, I think the topic of the awareness always were around 3 roots, 9 reasons, and 3 decisions. 3 roots, then 9 reasons, and 3 decisions. What are the first 3 roots? Contemplation that death is definite. Root number 2, contemplation that the time of death is indefinite. Rule number 3, contemplation that at the time of death, nothing happens except practice. Okay, now first, everybody make sure you are very sure that death is definite. Right? Death is definite. Number 2, the time of death is indefinite. Number 3, at the time of death, nothing happens except practice. So first, everybody remember every day, meditate on first 3 roots. First, death definitely come. Second, the time of death indefinite. Third one, at the time of death, nothing can happen except practice. Clear? Practice. First, yes, everybody can sure, everybody feel 100% sure that death definitely come. That there are 3 reasons or logics. Because the death will definitely come and therefore cannot be avoided. We cannot skip the death. We cannot avoid, no matter whether you are young or old or rich and poor and male and female, definitely the death will come. We cannot avoid it. Reason number 2, because our lifespan cannot be extended and diminish unceasingly. Right? We really cannot actually expand our life. Let's say, due to your karma, you're going to live 90 years old. Then we cannot really, expand the lives longer than 80. Cannot. Right? Let's say everybody going to live 80 years old or 90 years old. Or then after 90 years, then surely we're going to die. Now, let's say 90 years, how we really, going to finish the 90 years, 90 years. For the first 20 years or 25 years, as a Singaporean, you are so busy with your study. 30 years almost finished. How many years left? 60. Then another 30 years, so busy, work for the whatever company or wherever. You are so busy for, work for survive. So busy with the friends and family. We didn't have really time to practice Dharma. 60 years, finish. How many years left? 30 years. Another 30 years. Another 30 years, many of you are so busy taking care of your, grandchildren or your relatives. Also, 20 years finish. 10 years left. For the 10 years or more than 10 years, we've been so busy seeing doctor, TCM, taking medicine, all the massage, so busy. Look at how we really finish 90 years. Right? And also, yes, when we are 30 years, you cannot, even though using glass, we cannot see that. Right? And you try to remember the Buddha Dharma teaching, then our mind become very good. We have a lot of dementia. You cannot remember. Then at the end, what happened, right? You really want to go, your body cannot support. Wheelchair, helper. If the helper is, we are very lucky to have the good helper, good. Otherwise, you want to eat helper, let it soak the food in your mouth. Right? Then you have to go to toilet with the helper. And think, how we, finish our life, actually without achieving nothing. Therefore, cannot spend our life, then diminish unceasingly. It looks like, really, running of water so fast, running towards the ocean. Reason number 2. Reason number 3, because even when we are alive, there is a little time to practice. So first 3 roots, non-reason, also already explained the reason number 1 to 3. Now reason number 4, within the second root, because our lifespan is, this world is indefinite. Generally, life is, death is indefinite, particularly living in this world, life is become very indefinite. Reason number 5, because the cause of death are very many and the cause of life are few. That means time of death is indefinite because cause of death are so many. And cause of life are very few. Particularly this day. Right now we are here, right? Everybody believes, also I believe after my class, I want to have a light dinner or I have a plan. Actually, I am not sure I have a time to get up from this seat. All of you already have a plan. After I finish class, I go home and drink and tea. I meet my friend, my relative, make a phone call here, there. We never know. We have a time to go out from TBC. It's a fact. Don't scare. Then I ask you a question, what is the daily cause to live? What is the actual cause it can be cause to live? Do you have any example? Food. He said food. These days there's so many food poison. Right? Somebody while eating, the food goes the wrong part, then few coffee, you got that. Food can be caused to kill you. The medicine can be caused to kill you. The exercise. This day you can see many youngsters, they do heavy exercise, as people died. We don't have such a cause to live. All the cause to live is actually cause to kill. The medicine, the exercise, the yoga, the food, whatever we have, even the house going to collect is going to kill us. The cars we drive is going to cost our life. Therefore, reason number 5, because the cause of death are very many, very little, and the cause of lives are few. Sorry, the cause of death are so many, and the cause of life are very few. The reason number 6, because the time of death is uncertain due to the fragility of our body. First, the death is indefinite because we belong to the Jambu Deva continent. The time of death is indefinite. There are so many causes to death, very few causes to live. Death is indefinite because the term of death is uncertain due to the fragility of our body. Our body is so fragile. Someday you cannot believe, oh, this person died because of this. Somebody walking on the road, suddenly, fall down, heads, have a kind of stone injured in the head. In a few seconds, the person died. One of our friends, her brother was totally fine. I think he parked his car somewhere. It's a really look like karma, or you can believe in this other thing. When he wanted to drive the car. When he reached to the car just moved automatically. He dragged somewhere, hit his head. Next 2 days, the person passed away. Reason number 6. The reason number 7, within the third root, contemplation that at the time of death, nothing have except practice. Except practice. Because at the time of death, our friends are off, no have. No matter how many friends you got, actually you can see, it's very interesting to reflect on your life. When you are 20, 30, 40 years old, you are a very successful person, quite good. So you have a lot of friends, right? So when you are retired, your friend become lesser. They know you cannot get much from them retire. When you are 70 or 80 years or 90 years old, most of them already died, pass away. Even though some friends still alive or survive, they don't want to see you because you are too old. Right? Therefore, here, nothing, death of time, the time of death, our friends are off, no have. Even though your best friend, your daughter, your sister, your uncle are around you, they are just surrounding around you, what they can do? They just watch you as you die. They cannot do anything. Reason number 8, time of the death, nothing have except the time of the death, our well is off, no have, or wealth. Your house, your car, your money, the medicine, whatever we have, no have. Reason number 9, the time of death, our body is off, no have. Even though you want to breathe in and out, gently, cannot, right? So in the next time when you see your friend in the hospital, hospitalized, person is really in the serious situation, you just absorb. You can see the person really wants to talk to you. The body is totally off. You can see hospital, oh. He or she really wants to talk to you. He or she cannot. The body is off. No have. Even though since we were born, we really have been taking our body. We fit the best food, good exercise. We try to eat organic food, but at the end, the body cannot have. Okay, today as a first day, after you back to your home, please you read all the stanzas step by step, try to understand. Then remember impermanence and death, particularly 3 roots. What are the 3 roots? Contemplation, the death is definite. Root number 2, the term of death is indefinite. Root number 3, at the time of death, nothing helps except practice. Right? So no, you should not just verbally say, you really need to think that death definitely come. But then the time of death is indefinite. At the time of death, nothing happens except practice. Means your own practice. Also, you should not think time of death, my death, when I'm dying. Even though your guru, your guru next to you, the guru practice, the practice of the guru, whatever guru do doesn't much help you. Also, the guru say, okay, please don't be relaxed, visualize Buddha, chant, and practice bodhicitta. He just give you some advice. At the end, you have to practice. Right? Like doctor, when you seriously ill, doctor says, this is the pill you take, this is the medicine you take. Doctor pass you the medicine, then what you have to do? You have to eat, you have to swallow. You keep in the mouth, you don't swallow it, that help you. Likewise, we all Buddhists, okay? We all Buddhists, we study every day, we study for many years. We accumulate all the knowledge in brain. You store in brain. You have in your brain all the knowledge you never bring down to a heart. That means you collect all the medicine, put in the mouth. You collect all the medicine in the mouth. That no, you not really eat the medicine. Eat the medicine, please. I'm really, sometimes I feel as a Tibetan Buddhist Centre teacher for 13 years, I can see so my friends are really interested in studying, which is very good. You have been studying for many months or many years, but I cannot see the transformation. Instead of having good transformation, the person become more worse. So all of you don't have to study for many years for 24 hours. Right? Whatever you study, please don't keep in your brain and your head, bring down to the heart. Practice as much as you can. For example, practicing compassion, right? How we practice compassion? You sit somewhere, you visualize all sentient beings, and you generate love and compassion, which is very good. It's not really practical. For example, when you walk around, you can see many people in the bus, on the bus, in the MRT, and the restaurant. Whenever you see any person, you cultivate love and compassion sincerely. You don't let them know you are really practicing compassion towards them. Whenever you see any person, any sentient being, any insect, any bird, any dog, please cultivate love and compassion. Right? You don't have to open a lot of books. So please, practice as much as you can. Therefore, not just, have the knowledge. Since today, first you need to remember that death is definite. Not only you, that death is definite for my sister, my brother, my father, my relatives, my best friend. You sure? You may have to know, surely they will die. Surely I will die. The matter is, who will live first? Right? That's it. We believe I'm very young, or my, all relatives will die before me. Somebody is total opposite. Death is definite. Remember the three reasons. Then the time of death is indefinite. Remember the three reasons. The time of the death, nothing helps except practice. Your friends, Your wealth, your body cannot help you. Okay, right now we have a time, right? How many? Okay, first, okay, this class, not just visualizing, have to go through really, experiences. Right? So sit comfortably. Yeah. Sit very comfortably, relaxedly. First, as a Buddhist, please take refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha until we become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. You are taking refuge to the Triple because you realize the samsara is so scary. If I am born again in samsara, I need to go through all the difficulties and problems. The Triple Gem, the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha has the power to free me from the samsara. Particularly, remember taking refuge while you are dying. Particularly, you are on the bed, you are really dying. You have an attachment towards your belongings, or you have a hatred towards your enemy, or you are facing serious kind of, very strong pain. Still take refuge to the Tibetan, particularly Buddha Shakyamuni is teaching the practices and the Sangha community. Since we were born, the death definitely come because death cannot be avoided. Nobody can escape. Me also. Death is definite because my lifespan cannot be extended, diminish unceasingly. Death is definite because even when when I alive, there's a little time to practice. The death is definite, but the time of death is indefinite. The time of death is indefinite because I'm a human being born in the Jambudeva continents. So my death is indefinite. the death is indefinite because the cause of death are so many, there are so many causes for my death. The cause of life are very few. The time of death is uncertain due to the fragility of my body. So we surely think death will come, can become anytime, anytime. The next, particularly while we are dying on the bed, if you are lucky, you can be died on the bed. The time of the death, nothing helps except practice by yourself. Because at the time of death, my friends, family, colleague, neighbors are of no helps. Because at the time of death, my wealth, any my accumulations are of no helps. Because at the time of death, my body is of no helps. Okay, as a today class, so I ask you to read all the 17 stanzas, try to understand, particularly the visualizations. And since today, you always take refuge to the triple gem in any situations. Then meditate on the Four Noble Truths, particularly impermanence, death. When you are meditating on the death, remember the three roots, 9 reason, and 3 decisions. So next class, when you come back to TBC, I hope your the mindset, which is we believe, you believe, I can believe another, few months, few years. I hope your mindset can be changed. You're going to realize impermanence, death definitely come anytime at that moment. Only the Dharma, only the practice can have nothing else. Please you come back to the TBC with a transformation, right? Okay, so it's almost 9, so I will, how they can download the more detailed one.
This one, right?
So we're going to break down the stanza. If you have this book, you can read. If you don't have, somehow in there place anyway, you can forward.
Sure. The revised notes, the additional notes, we have to.
You can put the TBC WhatsApp. From there they can download, right?
BBC, no. We have to do a special scanning, same like what we did.
If you put in the TBC WhatsApp,
Huh?
Facebook?
Facebook, because not everybody attends the class. Yeah.
Okay, somehow, why not? So tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we download things here on this. Then you can share each other.
Unless, why don't you write down your name and your handphone?
If
Once
they
we
want,
get this up on the PDF, we forward to you. Okay, rather than put on Facebook, everybody gets. Everybody will be very surprised.
yeah, this book is taught by Ikshore Dalai Lama, I think 30 years ago. It's okay, it's okay. So we have to do it.